Hello everyone, so happy to see all of you. I'm XDS, the International Committee of International Association. So today is my honor, really happy to share with you some of the experience for promoting dark sky protections. And today I will focus. Today our focus would be the keywords for the Astropreneurs. As we all know that dark sky promotion have been facilitated and launched for many years, especially for astronomers and educators. We are all looking for new approach to promote astronomy. And today I would like to share with you some keywords, some inspiring aspect that we could make focus on about promoting dark sky protections. So what is Astropreneur? Actually, it could be a new term, a new keywords combined with both astronomy and entrepreneur. For astronomy, we all know that we wish to promote popular science. For example, we launched some, we organized some on-site stargazing events, some public lectures about astronomy, education, and some stargazing skills, astrophotography skills. And more than that, we also launched some programs, courses for teachers, provide trainings for teachers to engage, to motivate them to be aware of dark sky protections, and also the constellations, to take advantage of software and interactive media to motivate students to arouse their interests about STEM education. And you can see I've add STEM per se, which means STEAM education. We also include arts to integrate with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We all know that the integration of science and arts could be interesting if we try to consider science from different disciplines. And the third one would be the dark sky protections. For example, the International Dark Sky Place, some light pollution guidance. How could we reduce the energy waste? And we also consider the balance between the urban planning and the country part setting. So we also consider the natural environments, how to reduce the effects of artificial lights in urban area. And we also consider some optical phenomenon which might affect the celestial events for the amateur astronomers when they're preparing for some observational events. What about entrepreneur? Entrepreneur actually include some different ideas related to operation. For astronomy, it could be knowledge-based or some skill-based. However, for entrepreneur, we always consider how could we successfully operate or motivate or facilitate an event to motivate more people to engage. So we could take advantage, we could make use of social innovation. For example, cooperating with local NGOs, NPOs to promote environmental protections. More than that, we could also consider international relations. International relations, which is related to how you could communicate with other experts from different countries with different cultures. And more than that, we could take advantage of transmedia networking. For example, to gather people with common goals. And we have connections through advocates group, interest group, or take advantage of online media. For example, the interactive tools, for example, the Zoom, Hopelin, Slack, whatever. So it's really interesting that we could take advantage if we consider the promotion like an entrepreneur. It's really encouraging. It's really interesting because if we try to motivate people, motivate others to consider entrepreneur, to think innovative ideas, and motivate people to gather and take advantage of latest technology. So I would share with you 5 keywords. How could we effectively promote dark sky protections? Or looking if you're trying to look for the alternatives to promote astronomy or dark sky protections. So the first one is the ambition. It's very important to have a core idea. For example, if you wish to promote popular science or your goal is to conserve dark sky place, or the main idea is to raise the awareness of urban light pollution. It's very important to have a main goal. As a case in point, we consider the promoting astronomy as popular science. Um, we all know that there are a lot of methods, a lot of activities launched in many years. For example, sidewalk astronomy, stargazing events, to encourage the general public to uh, take part in for observational events. We're all looking for new approaches. So let me share with you, there are a lot of alternative ways besides the stargazing and sidewalk astronomy. We're trying to look for new approach to raise the awareness. So actually there are 3 main ideas. I consider in 3 sectors, general sectors, which is closely related to the dark sky protection. So the first one is sustainability, and the second one is the astronautics, and the third one would be the future education. I'm sure that some of you might be environmental advocates, or you are environmentalists, or you are educators who are promoting space exploration, or maybe some of you are interested to study or to know more about the space exploration. So today, I would like to share with you, and the main focus would be in these 3 main sectors. Okay, so the first one would be the sustainability. So we can make references from different resources. For example, one of the most well-known guidance from the United Nations, which we call the Sustainability Development Goals. There are 17 goals if you wish to motivate sustainability. So let's see. There are some interesting facts or interesting elements. For example, if you wish to promote number 4, if you wish to promote quality education, to provide education for students with support. We always talk about the learner center to motivate students, to provide them with incentive for self-learning and getting inspired by experiential learning. So more than that, we could also consider, let's say, for example, the 13th, we could see the climate action, try to motivate people to be aware of the climate change. For example, the dark sky protection, we always consider the energy waste of the light pollutions, lighting, the efficiency. Yeah, it's all about energy, all about the effects to the environmental area. So, okay, the 17th, you can see the partnerships for the goals. As I've mentioned, for Astropreneurs, we always talk about international relations. So it's really encouraging that we could communicate with others, take advantage of online interactive medias and platforms is really important. It's really encouraging to have conversation with others without the barriers of language, regions, technology, knowledge. We always talk about shared values. So, okay, and the second one, the astronautics. We always talk about space exploration. But actually, There, we have to strike a balance between space exploration and the task protection. For example, we consider the observational astronomy. We are trying to capture some constellations, some deep sky objects, some constellation objects. So uh, you could see an example, real example, the SpaceX Starlink, which might affect our observation for, especially for the amateur astronomer who works at the observatories using the large scale telescope. They're capturing some deep sky objects, or they're looking for asteroids. However, some artificial satellites might affect the observation of the astronomer for the astronomers. So it's really important. It might also disturb some radio telescopes or some technical optical telescope for the underground astronomical research. So it's really important. For dust sky protections, we also need to consider to find a balance between human development and the pressing needs of the nature. So, okay, the last one would be the future education. So we always talk about motivating students on learning children to explore something. So especially in Chinese community, we there's a pressing need to motivate students to connect with the nature, to know more about the future. We always talk about the future education. For example, the STEAM education, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics is really important. Not only learn these subjects one by one, we are not trying to separate all these subjects in their own, but we are trying to integrate them. We're trying to find the similarity of different subjects. We try to motivate students to apply, learn and apply. It's really important. For example, we motivate students to build up build up design thinking models. They try to solve some real life problems, real life difficulties about dust sky protections. It's really important for students to learn and apply to daily life problems. Okay, the second one would be the speciality. So it's really interesting that everyone is unique. We all have our own interests and our own strengths. So uh, it's really encouraging that we try to explore or motivate students or motivate the general public to explore their own multiple intelligence. It could be related to it might be related to music, related to some visual interaction, nature, and also interpersonal skills, some linguistics technologies skills, or some of them might be familiarized with mathematical analysis. So it's really important. Try to work with or try to seek for uh, partners or people with different intelligence. So we could support each other with different talents. So it's really encouraging. What about combining both STEM and arts? So as I mentioned, STEM education have been launched for many years, but in Hong Kong, most people might be focused on uh, machine learning, robotics, or some technical issues or some technical developments, but we are lacking of the experiential learning for students to explore by their curiosity, or we try to motivate them to experience different disciplines, different subjects, to get inspired from other learning experience. So it's really important. For example, if I'm studying astronomy or mathematics, there will be some inspiration if I consider I learn it from art, from music, from drawing, from sketching, from programming, from doing by from DIY. do it yourself. So there might be a lot of, I would say, the incentive and some key points, which is what might arouse your interest or motivate yourself. So we try to, it's really encourage the entrepreneurs to explore their personal strengths. So it's really important. So for example, the interdisciplinary approach, we talk about the personal strengths and we try to learn new skills, new things. For example, if you're studying science, why don't you study engineering, education, business, or visual arts? There might be some similarity or something that might trigger you to explore more, which might not only limit yourself in only one sector, in only one subject. So try to explore something new. You might get inspired from other disciplines, whatever. So the third one would be for T, which is the technology. So I've simply separate into 4 dimensions. Okay, for individual, for group. So the rest of it will be the local and international region. So if you consider, if you have different targets, audience, or if you have any different goals, it really depends on the coverage or the size of the target audience. So consider the individual. If you are currently work from home, so consider using online platforms, for example, social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and also the online platform to make use of the hashtag to share with your friends your latest discovery of astronomical objects or any uh, inspired or any funny facts about the light pollutions. So share with your friends using hashtag. It could gather people with similar interests and make use of hashtag. You could know more about other people, what they're doing to get inspired. So another one would be the citizen scientists. So it might not be limited for the professionals. It might not only be limited to the expert, but we try to motivate people from all walks of life, no matter you are educators, advocates, environmentalists, try to engage some citizens scientist program. It's really encouraging that we can make use of online detection or some mathematical analysis or detection of the light sky situation from different regions. For example, the globe at night. So make use of it to share data with other astronomy lovers or other dark sky defender about the latest situation in your countries or in your regions or in your place. So, okay, the second one would be the conference live streaming. So it's really encouraging that we could use online platform to share our personal experience with others without borders, without the limitation of regions. It might not be affected by the COVID-19 situation, but we try to change to make a shift from on-site events to the online interactive activities. So it's really important. It's really encouraging. We could also have interaction for the online platform. So another one would be the advocates network. Try to look for people with similar interests, engage in IDA, International Dark Sky Association. We do have an advocates network group. Feel free to join it and share your experience in your countries. We do have some updates in our latest discovery of some dark sky pace for certification and also some guidelines for promoting popular science and dark sky protection. So it's really encouraging. Or if you are interested in photography, we do have some 101 sharing about astrophotography to interact with general public. So the third one would be we target to individual. locally. If you are working at home, it's really encourage you to engage in the astro at home. Make use of DIY to share your products, share your creative ideas with others, and also the virtual stargazing events. We try to motivate people to interact with people. Another one would be the call to action in your community to share your ideas. I think it's really important. Learning astronomy or learning the dark sky protection, if you have engaged in some training, so it's really important to share your ideas to others, to your friends, to your family, to your schools, to your partners, to your colleagues. It's really important to share your ideas with others, to motivate others. And the last one will be similar, the online light sky observation. So it's really encouraging that when there will be some unique astronomical events, you could take advantage of online sharing. For example, the live in Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Make use of the live function to share your experience with others and your latest discovery. So the fourth one would be responsibility. So I have created a triangle idea, a triangle model. So as you can see, actually it would be a give and take action, give and take action. For example, you can see the entrepreneur and the general public. We try to motivate people through organizing online workshops, lectures, provide some promotional materials, some shared valued open resources, some videos, invite some guest speakers, try to provide some educational opportunities. And then the general public, once they engage, they would be the new power for the dark sky as the dark sky defender. They might be future or potential advocates. They might take action on engagement, so it's really important, give and take. So you can see I've placed out another examples for the relationship between the natural environment and general public. So you could see if we try to be aware of the stargazing manner using the red lights, and also be aware of the observational manner, it's very important. We all have a precious experience on stargazing and interaction with other amateur astronomers. It's really encouraging for people to interact with nature. So try to recreate something more interesting. Try to use it, try to fix it, apply it in your community. So strongly encourage you to use this model to reconsider a mind map, an action plan for the future promotion of dark sky protection. So it might be useful every time when we try to use some creative or innovative online tools or some mindsets diagram. So the last one would be the originality. So, oh no, yeah, the Chinese is wrong. So, okay, all right. Actually, it means that in Chinese it means 原创. Yeah, it means try to think something new, try to be innovative. So in the first step, if you are trying to build up some knowledge, feel free to read books about dark sky protections, read books from other disciplines, for example, astronomy, education, environmentalists, climate change, whatever. So try to get inspired from reading or watching videos from online, from YouTube, from Facebook. Search some latest discovery, latest news through Google search. It's really important to be an active self-learner. So it's really important to be a change maker. It's all about knowledge base, learning, and interaction. So the second one, if you could be a change maker, you have some experience on interacting with others. You build up a good communicating skills with others. So try to be a game changer. Game changer means you try to find out something new. What we call the reframing of new strategies. For example, if I'm trying to promote astronomy in the past, usually people are organizing on-site events. But if you try to organize astronomy virtually, if you try to organize online seminars, VR interactive media, or using the latest technology to support your promotion, that would be encouraging. You could motivate people from other disciplines, for example, Astro-Music. There would be a lot of cooperation with other disciplines. For example, I might work with the musicians or some engineers to provide some Astro-Music productions and some creation on astrophotography, imaging, whatever. So it's really important to be game changer if you have a lot of experience at that area, at that main region. So, okay, the last one, yeah, it might be a bit challenging, but try to explore it, try to engage it. So, the SoulSoul Influencer. So, I would consider as community-based, motivate others, take advantage of interdisciplinary approach, make use of transmedia platform, for example, TV, radio, podcasts, magazines, online platforms, YouTube channel, writing, column, popular science, interactive media, whatever. Try to explore or try to create some new platforms to interact with others. It's really encouraging that it might gather people with similar interests together, and we make use of the synaptic effects to be influential, and we could impact each other. So I've simply summarized with these 5 elements. So you could see with 5 elements, which is astral, you could see is really interesting, which all of you might simply memorize all these: the ambition, speciality, technology, responsibility, and originality. So it's really encouraging to motivate people on learning and experience something new, take advantage of new possible ideas. So do not worry by the situation of COVID-19. We all know that it might be sometimes discouraging, but we try to explore, we try to look for something possible in the future. So yes. So thank you everyone, and this is my sharing on the 5 keywords for entrepreneurs. If you have any question, feel free to ask me or contact me for more information, or if you try to explore something new, start reading, start exploring different platforms, try to learn from reading, watching, whatever. So taking action is really important. So the greatest idea is not the best way to lead you to be an entrepreneur, but if you try to step out, you try to take actions, you try to interact to impress someone, it might be encouraging. So wish all of you enjoy the International Dance Guy Week, and it might be interesting if we could interact with others. We could make use of online platform. You could try to engage in different activities without borders, without barriers, to join